if we rewind a little bit, we can see over the past 2 years, the biggest buyer of Treasury debt is the Fed. Obviously, the Fed was doing quantitative easing, buying trillions of Treasury securities. The commercial banks were as well. The commercial banks, had a lot of money they were deploying, but they all stepped out of the market. And so right now we're in this place where we kind of have a vacuum. We're not quite sure where the next buyer will come from, but the supply doesn't change because the deficit remains large. So that was a time, that was a period, the past couple months, where we were in a limbo and rates trended higher. Um, this time around, though, the U.S. Treasury became aware that there's not a lot of buyers for this longer dated debt. So at their current refunding announcement, they were basically telegraphed that going forward, we're going to issue less longer dated debt and more shorter dated debt, which it's easier for the market to digest. And once the market heard that, less supply, well, that means prices go up, which is to say, in the bond world, yields go lower. And so you saw yields go lower across the curve. And as we're recording this in November 2nd, that rally continues. Now, I believe this is a temporary reprieve because so the expectations based on current law is that our deficit will be $1.5 to $2 trillion a year, every year, basically forever. So this is a temporary reprieve. Eventually, we're probably going to have, definitely want to have yields go up again. But this little maneuver that the U.S. Treasury did is going to buy us some time, probably through next November.
So through the election.
Yes, I do believe that that's somewhat politically motivated. I don't have evidence.
Shocking.
But it makes sense, right?
Yeah, it makes sense, right? But again, yeah, you're right. I mean, it seemed like last week, it might have been the week before, the 10-year was over 5. Mortgage rates were 8, investor loans were 9, small business loans were 11. Now they're, I think 4.6, 4.64, something like that as of today. So down significantly.